everybody, it's me, Lady T. I know I'm looking in the wrong direction. I should be looking over here, but it feels weird to look over there, so I'm gonna look right there. I'm coming to you all this evening because I attempted to do a sewing video and I couldn't get it together. I was making mistake after mistake, so I decided, you know what, I need to stop. I just need to stop. So I decided to come to you guys and let you know the reason that I haven't been on YouTube recently is because I've been in a lupus flare. And for those of you who know anything about lupus, when you go into a flare, your body attacks itself, and all kind of things happen when you're in a flare. One of these things that I do want to say is, and somebody may figure that, you know, they may think that I'm vain or I don't appreciate God for how I look or whatever the case is, but I'm going through a crisis right now as far as this lupus flare is concerned. If you can see my face, usually when people have lupus, they get the butterfly scar across their nose. Now, if you look carefully enough, you can see the scar right here, which this was the first thing that started. And it started as a little lump. And not a lump, but a little dark spot. And then it began to grow. And my pastor at the time, who was a medical doctor, said, I want you to go to see this doctor, the dermatologist, because he thought I had skin cancer. However, I went to the doctor that he recommended, and it turned out to be lupus. It started as discoid lupus. So I didn't know a lot about lupus. I didn't know anything about lupus. I never heard of lupus until the doctor told me that's what it was. So I got diagnosed in, my husband said it was 2001 that I got diagnosed. So I think I was still in my late 30s. I don't even remember how old I was. But whatever the case is, now I'm 56. I just turned 56 on May the 6th. And my face is getting worse. It's getting, instead of me getting the rash up here, it's coming down here around my mouth, around my face. And frankly, I feel horrible. I really don't like the way I look. And if I can be completely honest with you, I am a born-again Christian. I am born again. I do believe in God. I do have faith in God. I do know God heals. I do know all of that. But my humanity side, my human side of me, sees this in the mirror every day, and sometimes it can be very depressing to see how my body has been declining. I've been in so much pain lately. I've been in so much pain. I've not wanted to do anything because I've been hurting so bad. And when you're in a lupus flare, for those of you who don't know anything about it, a lot of times when we try to do things, we can't do them simply because we don't have the energy. That could be one thing. Simply because we have brain fog is what some people call it, brain fog, where you can't get your thoughts together exactly what you're trying to do. That's why I had to take a break from sewing tonight, because I was trying to do a tutorial and I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it. So I was beginning to get frustrated. That's when I said, you know what? Back up from the machine, and tomorrow is another day. As you can see, my little stubby fingers, my fingers are swollen. I don't know if you can tell because you don't know me like that. But my hands are swollen. They hurt really bad just to even do this. But I was determined to do this tutorial tonight, and instead of me going to rest, I just made a mess because I wanted to do this tutorial. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who has prayed for me. I'm just at this point right now where I'm feeling like this lupus is really bothering me bad. And I try to rise above it, but in trying to rise above it, I do more harm to myself than I do good. So I'm going to, keep praying. And as I feel like doing things, I'll begin to do more videos, more tutorials, because someone was asking me about it. And I felt like I should do it because I appreciate every person who have subscribed to me. And when someone asks a question or someone wants to see me do something, I really would like to do that for them, because they didn't have to ask me. They could have went on somebody else's page and asked them. But I just want you all to know that I'm not slacking. I'm not just not wanting to do anything. I just don't feel like it. I literally don't feel like it. And the bad thing about it is I have orders to do for people. And I want to get those orders out, but I want to get those orders out and I want them to be nice. I don't want it to be a struggle mask. Oh, look at this. This is ugly. She did it. No, I want my masks and anything else that I do to go out looking like Lady T's Things That Bling, nice product, so that if they want something else, they can come back because they received a nice product, or they can refer me to somebody who might want me to make something for them. So I said all that to say that I've really been in a flare, and this has been a difficult one for me. Like I said, I just turned 56 years old on May the 6th, and sometimes I feel like lupus is really trying to take over. And I try hard to fight it. And I simply realized that I have to rest. I have to let my body rest. And sometimes when I feel like I need to rest, I feel bad because I feel like I'm letting people down. I feel like, you should be better than this. You should push past what you're feeling. And that's not always a good thing, to push past what you're feeling, because you begin to do things, you begin to mess things up. You begin to, not be able to focus on what it is that you're trying to do, thus putting out a bad product. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to put out a bad product for anyone at all, for any reason. So I just wanted to say that and explain, because a lot of times people that don't know about lupus or don't understand lupus don't understand the aggravation we feel when we're going through a flare. They don't understand that, watching our bodies attack itself. They don't understand how, that's bad for us to see, that our body is really, fighting against itself. And some days I have good days, some days I have bad days. I've had a hip replacement in 2015, and now that hip replacement is acting up really, really bad. So I'm dealing with that, and I don't like it, but this is the part of my life that I'm dealing with right now. And I just wanted you to know, and I wanted to explain, because some people really don't know what lupus is. People don't really know that, your body's attacking itself, because whatever's in there is thinking it's a foreign object in it, so it starts attacking itself. And I'm on 20 milligrams of steroids. This is why I'm fat. I say I'm fat, but I am. I'm overweight. And sometimes it can be hard for me to look at myself. I said I want to challenge myself so I can lose weight. Excuse me. I said I want to walk up and down the steps so I can lose weight, and I'm at the point right now that even walking up the steps renders me, I don't want to say unable to breathe, but I have a hard time breathing by the time I get at the top of the steps. I went to Walmart a couple of days ago, and literally when I walked from the car to the inside of Walmart, I was like this, and I'm like, God, what is wrong with me? So the lady that was standing there asked me if I wanted to use one of their carts, and I said, you know what, I think that's a good idea. And you would have thought that I ran from the car to the store, and I literally just walked to the car. To the store from the car, and it was close. I wasn't parked that far. And then I began to feel, bad about that. I'm like, God, what is wrong with me? Why can't I walk from the car to the store without being winded? But this is another thing that's going on. And my rheumatologist has said to me he believes that I have sarcoidosis, and sarcoidosis affects your lungs. Um, it affects your lungs, which renders you unable to breathe properly. And I told my doctor, I don't have that. I don't accept that. I refuse that. I'm healed in Jesus' name. But now I'm finding out that the symptoms of sarcoidosis, I have those symptoms. And let me tell you something. It's not fun to watch yourself um, deteriorate. I'll say it like that. It's not easy to go from being an active person to a person who has to pick and choose what they do, depending on their energy level that day, depending on how they feel that day. And people just don't get it. People don't get it. And, you know, I have people be like, girl, you don't even look like you're going through that, but I am. And the bad part about it is right now is that my hip, it feels like it's going to have to be replaced. And it's I don't want to go through that again. I don't want to go through having hip surgery again. It was very hard for me. And although it was almost 5 years ago, so I guess I was, 51 at the time. And the doctor clearly told me that because of lupus, I might have to have my hip replaced again in 5 years. And I told him that's not true. It's not going to happen. I'm not. No, this hip that you replaced, that's going to be the hip that I keep for the next 30 years. But because my bones, I grow crystals on my bones, and the bones start tearing stuff up. I mean, the crystals start tearing things up in my body. I have them on my feet as well, but it's nothing near as bad as what's going on with my hip. So these are some of the things that I'm going through, and I'm completely embarrassed about my face, but I came on to show you because, you know, we wear makeup, and makeup covers up a lot of things, but I'm finding that it's even getting hard for me to cover up these scars on my face. It's even getting harder for me to disguise them because my foundation, although it looks good when I first put it on, these things begin to come through and see them, and probably I'm not using the right makeup. But I don't even feel like going through all of that, putting on makeup every day. I don't feel like doing that. There was a point in time where I did do that. But nowadays, I just be like, whatever. And I go outside looking like this, but then after I get outside and I see people looking at me, I'm like, man, I should have put my makeup on. And then I turn around and say, you know what, forget it. I don't know them. They don't know me. I don't have to impress anybody by the way that I look. But I like to look nice when I go out. But lately, I just haven't cared. I go out looking like this. So when I feel better, and hopefully I'll feel better tomorrow, I'll be able to put out a video, because I really want to do this video. I'm making masks, and yeah, I really need to get my stuff done. So you guys pray for me. If you see, you know, that things look weird or different, let me know. But just pray for me. Just pray for me, because right now in my mind, I just feel like I'm declining, and I don't want to decline. I feel like I have a whole lot of life still left in me. I feel like, you know, this is my season to do what God called me to do, and that's what I want to do. So I'm trying to get off of here before I reach my limit. Okay, guys, we shall talk to you later. Hopefully I can put out a video tomorrow. I'm trying to see, is my neck green? What's going on right there? Whew. Okay, so hopefully I'll be able to put out a video tomorrow on what I'm making or sewing, and at least show you what I'm doing. And then we can talk. We can talk. All right, guys, this Lady T signing out, and see you tomorrow if it's the Lord's will. All right.